I think in the 3v3 tournament against Heat Check, we started off pretty strong, and it seemed like things were going our way.
So I would assume he has a solid enough steal. Good pass. He got the wrong fade.
I was about to say, he was getting that slow pull up in streets. He's been a menace in those lanes, knocking the ball around. Nets will be able to get it back, a chance to tie or take the lead here. As they go over the streets, wide open shot, left corner, he greens it.
And then slowly things just started slipping away from us. We stopped doing the things that we know NetsGC basketball should be doing. I think we started playing a little nervous towards the end, especially in game 5. We stopped making the reads that we needed to make, and we stopped hitting the open guys that need to be hit.
I feel like we underestimated them, and I feel like we could have talked way more, being that Ken was on point guard, knowing that he is center. And I feel like little stuff, if we talk more, I feel like we get out that series easily.
I think against Heat Check Gaming, simple execution. We had went up 2-1. They brought a new lineup after we had got up to the 2-1 lead, and they threw a different look at us. I don't think we were as prepared as we should have been for the lineup that they had came out and ran. Their shooting guard Saucy had kind of give us a different look. We weren't really expecting him to come out and do much. So we had put me on ball, and he ended up just doing his thing. So I think afterwards it was kind of like, you know, Jaden has to do better on ball. I felt like I should have done more. Taking care of the ball, controlling things that you can control are kind of the biggest things in 3v3. Because if one possession goes wrong, sometimes it's hard to catch back up or to get that stop back when another team can just take twos. So I think a lot of teams were trying out different lineups. You know, there was a 2-guard lineup that was a little famous for a while, then the insides made a run late. So I think just, you know, knowing everything that we know going into the next season about the 3v3, you're going to have to play to your team's strengths and not try to copycat another team's way. I think some teams try to run 2 guards knowing they didn't have 2 guards capable of, you know, making that work for them. And then some teams ran insides that did work for them, but some that didn't, because once you get a good lead with insides, I mean, once you're down a lot with insides, it's kind of hard to come back. So I think teams finding their own groove and not trying to be copycat with it is kind of the biggest thing. And that's kind of the biggest thing I'll learn too.
What I learned about the league 3v3 this year is that it should always be like a game plan for any situation. And I feel like going into next year, I'm going to play like 3v3 more, because I feel like a lot of the times this season, it was times where I didn't know what to do. And I feel like that just come with the more reps and playing 3v3 more.
The thing that I learned about the 3v3 mode that I think we should apply for next season's team is having everybody on the same page, having everybody that communicates really well. And ultimately, 3v3 comes down to trusting your teammates. I think the biggest thing, especially when there's only 3 people out there, that means there's a whole lot of court and a whole lot of space. So when it comes to offense and defense, the biggest thing is just trusting each other and not letting your teammate down at the end of the day.
I think you just have to be ready for the first 2 tournaments that they host in general. I think if you get off to great starts in those, I think you can lead forward to a great position and see weeks to where you don't have to be fighting for your life to get one of those playoff spots.
For us to be in that steal and that ticket this year, that was exactly where we deserved to be, honestly. It's tough to say that, you know, we should have been already in the playoffs. We had the talent to be, but sometimes talent potential only takes you so far, and eventually you got to execute, and that's just something we couldn't handle.